This right here is one of the nastiest weeds you could ever have in your yard, besides Bermuda grass. We've got a doozy for you today. It is starting to send one out towards the driveway. Look at this nasty thing. Oh, look at this. I bet that is connected to this one. That's how far it goes. Look at that. Oh, shoo, that thing is big. So what we're dealing with here is nasty. It is big, just like the name implies, and that is Johnson grass. As you can see, it is everywhere. It looks like I have giant corn stalks growing in the middle of my grass. And unfortunately, I don't get any of the rewards that would come with growing corn. I want to see if I can pull that big sucker right there. Okay, that thing is really in there. Oh, I did not. Dang it, didn't get it all. As you can see, it's still down in there. Shoo! Take a little squiz knot. Grape Crystal Light and Takis. It's a snack of champions. So what we have here, Johnson grass, nasty stuff. I'm pretty sure this stuff right here is toxic to animals if they eat it. Could be wrong in that. I think I read that somewhere. Don't quote me on that. Either way, get this crap out of your lawn. What makes this stuff super bad? First off, it grows super fast. It's very invasive. This is 3 weeks of growth. Everything you see here, I just started noticing it pop out of the ground 3 weeks ago. Second off, it grows through rhizomes. So a lot of people have Kentucky bluegrass. It spreads underground and pops up. That sends out rhizomes. That right there, if you see that white part, it will send this white part out. It will eventually turn into a new plant, as you see here this one's doing. It'll pop out of the ground and then it will establish a new plant. And as you see, this one right here, this one has barely popped out of the ground. It's already sending out its own rhizome. This plant right here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this big daddy number 9 right here, which already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of its own, and it had just popped out of the ground that far. Stupid crazy. Today's main goal is to get all of this stuff out of my lawn. So today I want to talk about 3 ways that you can do that. However, there's one way that we're going to do it and one way that you're probably going to have to do it as well. You got to be real gentle here, because if you're going to pull this stuff up, you got to pull out the rhizomes as well, because if these things right here are left in the ground, well, it's still going to keep growing. And well, that's no good. So obviously the first way is just to pull them. Now, if you're gonna do that, you need to catch this early when these things are in the young stages, kind of like this. You're gonna have a much better chance of these things not having spread out as far and the roots not being as deep or as established. Whereas once they start getting bigger, these things have spread much further underground, and it's just gonna be much harder to pull them out. Even though I've got a pretty strong pull-out game, it's hard to pull these things out. Now there are certain areas of the lawn, kind of like this bank right here that has grass. I went ahead and pulled out all that was here. That entire strip over there was riddled with them. I just overseeded that. I pulled all of them out on that strip over there before I went ahead and overseeded it. However, over here, you see there are thousands and thousands of these things all throughout the lawn. I am not going to spend all my time pulling this stuff out, especially with how bare this spot is. I'm gonna have to redo all the dirt work here anyway before I seed, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go to chemical measures. So what we have here, this is glyphosate, generic Roundup. This is an all all weed killer, all grass killer, non-selective herbicide. That means it is going to kill anything that it touches, or almost anything. It's gonna kill your grass if you get it on your grass. Be careful. So for this first method, if you have a full thick lawn, the opposite of what I have here, you have grass that you do not want to kill, and you just have a few of these things popping up, and this applies to any other grass that you want to get out that there is not a selective herbicide for. Grab some of this glyphosate right here, grab a kid's paintbrush, and you're just going to very gently paint it on the leaves of the weed. So if you want to keep your sanity, you don't want to go crazy doing this stuff, and you have way too many to do this on, and they are way too big, like this right here, it is time for a blanket spray. And so what I mean by blanket spray, basically I'm going to start in this corner, which I'm not spraying that, and I'm going to walk in a grid pattern down the line, turn, come back, turn, go back, and I'm just going to keep going until I do the entire lawn, and I'm going to spray every time I cross one of these. But I don't need to spray here, don't need to spray over there. Basically, if there's not a weed, I don't spray. If there is a weed, I spray until I'm done spraying all of this crap. Okay, so keep in mind here, two things. One, PPE, pants, boots, long sleeves, gloves, gotta wear it. Number two, and I'm not walking through where I sprayed, this is all bare dirt right here. I sprayed over here, don't worry. This is probably gonna take multiple applications. This stuff is pretty nasty and pretty rooted in there. If you get this stuff early enough, you might be able to kill the majority of it with one application. My stuff right here, I let it grow a little too long, so we're probably gonna have to spray at least twice, I would say 3 times, a few weeks in between. So we're gonna check in here in about a week, and then we'll check in at the 2-week mark, and we'll see how we're doing.